My dad had a cousin, right? A lot of us from Nigeria will relate to this very well. So my dad has a cousin, and the cousin is 7 feet tall, really tall guy. And in Nigeria, when you are so tall, guess what we call you? Kind of a nickname. We call you tallest. So in Nigeria, when you are so tall, everybody calls you tallest. So his name in my local dialect was Igole, that is tallest. And for me, my dad was a god to me. He mentored me, he superintended over me. And he's one of those dads that wanted you to learn from his mistakes. Guys, I am super excited to have you guys here to celebrate with us on our 2025 Christmas party. I apologize that we are starting a little late. We are looking at kicking off at 4 p.m. We were supposed to start at 3 p.m. Unfortunately, some of these things are guided, unfortunately, by some other considerations. I know we're all here in America, and I'm sure we must have heard of the Nigerian time, where 3 o'clock happens to be 4 o'clock sometimes, and it turns out to be 5 o'clock. So I know there is that cultural disparity, because typically over here they're always on time. So talking about cultural disparity, the differences, I see Christine here, so you're going to learn about the Nigerian culture today. Are you going Christine is like, oh, don't worry about it. I dated this Nigerian guy when I was in high school, he would always come in. So, talking about cultural disparity, the whole leg, the left leg, at least you should see the other shoe. Rockwell will draw a shoe on the picture and re-snap the picture. So Rockwell in 1940 did Photoshop before Photoshop came. Rockwell will put a left shoe. As Dr. Joy in our village will go around and say, hey, my brother, Dr. Brian, is looking for a wife. And then she tells people in the village, in the market, other women. So some of these women will be like, oh yeah, my daughter is so pretty. Yeah, he's going to marry your brother. But I don't know your brother. He's been in the city for so long. Can you send me a picture of your brother? And Joy will be like, hey, hello, Brian, we need your picture. And this way Rockwell comes in, the photographer. And me now, these guys, they go to Rockwell and say, hey, Rockwell, I need to get married. My sister is at some point that Rockwell blessed our society in Nigeria. Rockwell he was like a matchmaker. When you have these websites now, match date, something like that.com, Rockwell was that back then in the 50s and 60s. So I asked my dad, I said, how did that? Hello? And the other guy would say, hey, hello, how is it over there? Is that crazy guy still bothering the village? Yeah, he is. So with time, we just, our vocal cords develop like that, and there is we would enjoy these stories growing up, and like I said, that culture has a way of shaping you as a human being. I remember going to school, and my classmates would always tell me, we noticed something. I'm sure Christine would relate to this, or Tierra, or my girls over there, and of course Natalie. Why is it that when Nigerians talk, they yell? They are like, I am here. Why are you yelling? It's like, and I'll tell you why, guys. Like, hey, Nigerians, you're always 5'7". They think they affect your sense. What it means in our local dialect is, it kind of messes with your brain, he thinks. And you might not really reason you good. So I said, no, Dad, no, I don't think height has anything to do with that. And my dad said, because growing up, I noticed guys do the stupidest thing. So, you know, you can't say that. Like when he tells me his positions, I tell him, you don't have evidence for that guy. So you can't tell. You know, I'm going to tell my dad's name is Benjamin, so they call him Benjamin. I'm going to tell Benji about it. He's in the army. He will just steal whatever he wants. Because this guy is going to make you invincible. I might even tell Benji, you know what? Just fly a plane or something. Take it and say, so we're not going to bother him. So he goes, Thomas, he go there. He said, yeah, my brother, that's what happened. So my dad was like, okay, so tell me, I don't understand. So fine, you're invincible. Now, so my dad said, Thomas, I'm kind of confused. Did the native doctor say you and whatever you steal is going to be invincible, or is just you? He said, I got you, brother. He said, whatever I steal and me are both going to be invincible. So I decided to steal the biggest, since they will see. You won't believe this guy walks through the gate, and the gate you have police and army guarding, you know, the equipment. So he go there, just walks in, and the security were wondering, we know it's brothers, you know, had financial problems. And my dad was like, oh man, Thomas, you would have told me. So what exactly happened at the ministry? And Thomas said, I stole a truck. It's not a regular truck. In Nigeria, we call it caterpillar. It's a huge truck with a long nose that is an excavator. And my dad said, excavator? This thing is huge. So Thomas, how did you think you were going to, you know, get away with an excavator? There's security, police at the gate. He said, yeah, you know, what happened is, you know, I went to this native doctor. And the native doctor, you know, this native doctor assured me that I was now invincible. So he did some charms and all that, and I was like, you know what, since I'm going to be invincible, I might as well steal the biggest stuff. I mean, a guy is not going to be invincible and walk up to the ministry. And my dad was like, maybe somebody lied on him, this is not Thomas, he's a great guy. So my dad goes to jail to go visit Thomas. And my dad was like, so Thomas, tell me, something tells me somebody lied on you. Because Thomas worked at the Ministry of Works, they call it, in Nigeria. They make the roads, they do maintenance.